Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of One with 1-0, and what a star-studded lineup. This is a bit of a futsal team, a 2-2 formation. I'm joined by Paige, Zois, Melbourne Victory superstar, and the Perth Glory duo, Sofia, Sakalis, and Alana, Jancevski. Girls, welcome to 1-0.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So girls, plenty of football to get through. Before we dive into that, thank you all for joining on. I mean, we're here at Venona Club at Bulleen, where Paige and Alana yourselves are playing final coming up in a couple of weeks. How are you feeling leading up to that final against Calder United, who is very familiar with 1-0 as well, with Nathan, head coach. Big ups Nathan, had his birthday on Sunday. It was very good. Anyway, how are you guys feeling before your final?
Excited, very excited. We can't wait to take the field. I think we're in pretty good form at the moment, so hopefully we can take that into the final. And yeah, ready to, lift some silverware maybe.
Good. And Alana?
Yeah, I guess playing at home Matildas is going to be really cool, and yeah, we really want to win, so hopefully we can get that silverware.
We're going to see the same sort of free kick special that we saw, because Alana, after we filmed the booth shopping at Ultra, that little highlight with Paige Lewis free kick just opposite there, that was the scene of the crime. Just opposite there.
It's actually over there.
On camera. They don't know what's behind us. So we can still say it.
Alright.
But anyway, that was getting played around a lot at work. Was that something from the training ground, just you two playing with together a lot, or how did that come around?
Well, we actually hadn't planned that one. This is the one.
Yeah,
we didn't plan that one at all. I kind of just we just have telepathy. Everyone thinks that Alana speaks to me when she's got her jersey up, but I think she's just wiping her mouth.
Yeah.
We're not exchanging any words at all.
Yeah. It was just a look, and she was like, alright,
Yeah.
fair on.
Yeah. I was a bit nervous, so I think our coach yelled out no, don't play it, but we still did.
Yeah.
Well, she was at Ultra the next day actually. She was telling all the girls that how good that free kick was in the
Oh,
scenes
there
it was.
you
So,
go.
bit of inside news there. Sorry. Now, Sofia, yourself, you're at Box Hill. How's your season going? How are you enjoying it? You've been at Box Hill since I was 12 years old. I think you actually kicked me out of the team because you made the team. So
Yeah, no, I played my junior years at Box Hill with the boys, so it was actually kind of good to return last year, and it's been good. I mean, we're a little bit of an underdog team in some sense, but I think we're building something, and we're slowly starting to create a brand of football that we like to play, and we've got new Japanese players as well, which have added to us. But yeah, each season's a bit different. We're just building.
definitely. So all three of you playing that A-League Women's competition. What's that sort of transition like coming back and playing MPL? Is it something that you'd recommend to everyone that's sort of on that cusp of with the A-League Women's and all that sort of thing, and then coming just getting the extra minutes in the off season? I think Alana Cern's playing at Calder. There's a couple other girls coming and playing MPL. Is it something that you girls really enjoy doing? Still coming, I guess, and for yourselves as well, playing at Bulleen as a junior, Box Hill as a junior, coming and playing in that system, and do you want to see, I guess, more A-League Women's players coming down and playing that thing too?
Yeah, I think this year we've seen more A-League girls transition into the NPL in the off-season, which is good. It's kept the standard really good. And yeah, there's nothing better than keeping fit by playing competitive matches. So highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and I think NPL Victoria's come a long way.
Definitely. Has moving interstate for the NPL been anything on anyone's radar, or is there a much difference in the women's competition across the NPL leagues?
Yeah, look, I think Sydney's also very competitive just because they get a lot of A-League players coming into their NPL, but we're quite similar as well. We get a lot of players coming from A-League, but I think it's good, especially for us younger ones, to just get a lot of match minutes, because we've missed out on that maybe in younger years, but getting that and then translating that into an A-League season brings more confidence and stuff. So, but it's going to end up being crossing over a little bit, so I don't know next season what's going to happen.
Yeah. I think even just from a perspective of Melbourne Victory fans, for example, that are here and they get to see you play for Victory, they might also play junior football at Bulleen, for example, where we are now. So they can see you play for Victory, and then obviously at Bulleen here, we just walk into the stands here, we're here. So also more accessible, and I think that's something that's really cool, and something that we're seeing with the Matildas, which we'll touch on later with the Women's World Cup. I think all four of us were at the game last night, the Morocco-Germany game, and just you see full stadiums, and I think the accessibility is something that's really cool. So Alana, for you, for example, what is maybe the key difference, or something that stands out the most to you coming and playing from Perth Glory and then now to Bulleen? Is it just maybe the professionalism? Is it the coaching? Is it, I guess, the squad? What's maybe the key, good or bad, the key difference that you can notice?
Yeah, I think we're fortunate to have a team that has a lot of A-League players in it, and we have a really good culture, and we have a lot of fun. So I think having that aspect, and obviously being at home is nice, so you have a bit of that balance and have fun. And yeah, obviously there is differences in like training loads and things like that, but mostly, you know, the fun and the competitiveness is still really good.
Definitely. Now, Paige, you're at Victory. I think we did a video almost at the start of the season. Ever since we made that video, things started to really tick for you. I think in the squad, getting more minutes, getting a goal as well. Didn't do the 1-0. Promised to do the 1-0 celebration. Didn't do the 1-0
I just
celebration.
forgot. I was honestly just static. I actually put it in the net.
How do you rate your season overall? What sort of was something that happened differently or that you did differently, or was it purely just a thing of you got the opportunity and really took it?
Well, I think my first few seasons I didn't get many minutes as a young player, which is kind of fine. I was only on like injury replacement contracts and stuff like that. So I think as you get older, you get stronger, you get fitter, get more confident. And I think I kind of found myself, you know, being in the squad regularly, getting some more minutes, which was nice. But also I think this season I played not just in the middle, so like there was more opportunity for me to get on the field playing, you know, winger and right back and stuff like that. So that was good. But yeah, I was just happy to, you know, contribute to the team and get lots of minutes. Yeah.
Definitely. And for you two at Perth Glory, you both made that move from both being Melbourne girls and then moving over to Perth. What was that sort of transition like for you two?
Yeah, honestly, it was really challenging. We both moved that. I was 18, you were 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were 18, 17, so moving away from home at that age is like massive, because it's not even just on the pitch stuff, it's like you got to cook, clean, or do everything by yourself, so you become really independent really quickly. And I think we learned a lot, just not with our football but also away from home and just growing as people as well. But it was a big transition.
Yeah, and there were hard moments, but of course, you know, we lived together and we had a lot of fun. So, you know, there is things that are very difficult to move away, but there's also, you know, benefits and memories that you create. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Was that something that maybe I know there's the thing of being home. I love being home. I don't want to go live for a long time, whatever. But is that something that you could recommend out to players if, you know, I remember you were at Melbourne City for a very long time and as a youth, and, you know, in Paige, for example, you'd start at Victory, so you'd want to spend as much time there, I'd assume, maybe as you can, to establish yourself in the team. But if opportunities come interstate or even overseas, is it something that you would recommend to a lot of the younger girls, maybe where, you know, you never know, you just have got to try it? I guess you said, you know, you have to become independent a lot quicker. Is that something that you would recommend to other girls or even just any players in general?
Yeah, sometimes it's just about getting out of your comfort zone. Like, you're not really going to know. I don't think we really knew what to expect. Like, you kind of just throw yourself into the deep end, and then it's kind of hard. Like, it's interesting. You kind of realise how much you got to grow up quickly, and then you grow even more. And just opportunities like that, being away from home, and you also don't have all your family and stuff, but you're so zoned in on football. Like, football is just your life when you're there. Like, there's no distractions, nothing. It's honestly just solely football. You're getting up, training, eating, sleeping, and repeating.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you definitely do improve a lot as a person as well, because, yeah, like Soph said, you have to rely on yourself. You don't have mum there to help you out if you're washing and things like that. So, yeah, off the pitch you grow a lot, and then, yeah, on the pitch you're really zoned in and you can take big bounds. So I definitely recommend it to take football to the next level.
Definitely. Well, the World Cup is on now. I mean, we were speaking about it for almost like half an hour before we started filming. We could have filmed that and made that the show. You girls were all there last night. I was there as well. Germany, Morocco. What was just the feeling just in general? I'm not sure if it was your first game you guys have been to. It was my first game that I've been to. I think just the atmosphere was unbelievable. Just even being like, it's a World Cup game. So that was something that was super special. Like just seeing, even whether it's the branding everywhere and the music and the national anthem at the start. Like, I have no affiliation with Germany or Morocco. Like, I don't really care who wins or who loses. But I think just being there was an unbelievable experience. What was it, something for like you, for girls that are playing and hopefully, you know, one day reach the Matildas level? What was that experience like? And just sort of maybe sitting there, and did you sit back for a moment and go, I want this to be me, like in a couple of years' time, I want to be here?
Yeah, I think it was like they made it a spectacle, and even like the halftime, what they did at halftime, like everyone was involved. It felt like you're at a Coldplay concert, things like that. So, yeah, at one point, like the players were really close, and I was like, oh my god, like they're right there, they're playing such good football, like I'd love that to be me one day. So I think they've done a really good job, and yeah, to have it on home soil and be able to watch world-class players has been really exciting, and to have 28,000 too.
Definitely. Paige, they played at Amy Park or Melbourne Rectangular Stadium.
I remember seeing that on the ticket and I was like, where is that? Someone messaged me like, are you at a rectangular stadium? I was like,
Aren't all pitches rectangular?
Yeah.
But I mean, you play your home games at Amy Park, and then you went there now and saw that it was a World Cup game. What was sort of that feeling like that you played on that pitch, as you all have, but you in particular have played on that pitch many times. Now you've got, especially the German team, because they looked unbelievable and freakishly good. I know Morocco maybe wasn't up to scratch, but they can only beat what's in front of them. Germany looked very good. What was that sort of like feeling like? Did you get that thought of like, where that midfield was playing, I've also played there?
Yeah, I honestly thought like I've stepped on that grass that Pop is stepping on right now.
Yeah.
I genuinely had that thought. It was just so cool to see. I thought, how lucky are we to have that in front of us? And I think both teams were so good. I think the score didn't really cut Morocco slack. They were awesome as well. But having that at Melbourne Rectangular Stadium, Amy Park, knowing that we play there is just so cool. And I think the stadium has had lots of upgrades as well, which is cool for us too.
Yeah. The new screen. I
Yeah, they look
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And I missed the halftime light show because I went to get a coffee, but I did get told that the lights are crazy.
Yeah, it was cool, but I found it really weird.
Really?
I liked
Alana
it.
said it was fab.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I think it hit the target audience well. I don't know if I was the target audience was sitting there doing this.
I just have to know. I didn't do the
He doesn't like
pulsing, but-
Barbie and doesn't like light shows.
No, I like Barbie.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thanks, Paige. But overall, I mean, with 27, pretty much capacity. I was at the Matildas France game, the friendly as well, which was pretty much capacity. We're seeing all stadiums pretty much filling out. Even though saying the games in New Zealand were struggling to sell out, but they're still getting big crowds there as well. I'm now becoming closer with a lot of the female players and just women's supporters in general, and you can see how much it means to them just seeing how many people. I actually remember coming here many years ago watching Melbourne City play. I remember Steph Catley was playing left back, which was why Catley became my favourite player. And like it was full here, but then that next week they played in a bigger stadium, or there was no one really there. And I think it feels like such a special moment as well. And for you guys, obviously, relate 100 times more than me. What's the whole sort of feeling being like for you guys watching it and sort of seeing how it's been? The stadiums are full and people are actually generally getting behind it. People coming overseas to watch it, even Australians who, I think Matildas have always been labelled Australia's most likeable team. I think you can really see that because everyone's getting behind them. What's that sort of feeling like for all of you?
Yeah, well, I actually went to the game, the Nigeria-Canada, and that was on a Friday at 12 p.m. and there was like 25,000.
Yeah.
And I was just walking and I'm like, is anyone working, going to school? Like, there was so many people, and it wasn't even a Matildas game. So when I saw that, I was like, it just shows how much women's football has grown. I think something that's so important is we're kind of in the limelight, just women's football, and it's grown heaps, and so many people are going. But I think after the World Cup, we've kind of got to maintain that hype and that, like, how much it's grown and keep it evolving and kind of take advantage of the situation of having the World Cup in Australia.
100%.
So it just keeps on going and going rather than,
I mean, like, how cool are you for you two? They're playing in the final couple of weeks. If we keep on showing that spotlight on the women's game, where then you then make this Nike FC Cup, like a bigger sort of, I guess, scale than what it's maybe been in the past. I think that would be awesome to see. Just it does. The vibe feels really cool. Paige, when you were there last night as well, what were your thoughts on sort of everything?
Oh, honestly, this is so embarrassing to say, but when I went to the send-off game with Alana, when everyone was walking out, I like cried a little bit because I thought like, you can back me, I did. It's so embarrassing, but I just thought like, this is crazy. There's so many people here to come watch, and it just shows that like, this World Cup has the potential to just grow our sport here so much. And like Sofia said, if we can maintain this, like, I'm so excited to see what they can do.
I can confirm her crying. Also confirm I've cried as well.
Yeah,
so
I've gotten goosebumps.
Yeah, I think it's like Soph said at the Nigeria game. There were schools taking their classes on excursions. I thought that was huge, and like had little boys in front of me cheering and having a good time, which I think's even more special. Like to have everyone involved and everyone enjoying.
Well,
even just how much it's grown. Like when we were younger, we all played with boys, and like I remember like under 10s, it'd be boys be like, oh, there's a girl on the team. So there's that stereotype of like they're not going to be as good. And now you literally have 10-year-old boys going to a Women's World Cup and wearing like a Kerr jersey. So idolising women footballers, and I think that's just huge.
Yeah.
Like it's grown so much from even when we were young and played in boys teams. Like it's just crazy to see.
So I mean, I know someone that cried as well. She's gonna kill me if I say it, but and when I saw it, I was like, well, seeing her cry also made me like, okay. I mean, I know it's big, I know it's huge. I've been like involved with the women's sort of program through coaching for 8 years now, so naturally you sort of get that sort of feeling and push it up. And something that my girlfriend said was, you know, especially at work when me and some of the other boys are talking about it, like, you know, we jumped on, one of my mates was jumping on FIFA playing as Matildas on the World Cup, which I haven't jumped on FIFA in years, but it made me want to jump on FIFA. And then he sent me today, he beat England in the round of 16, and we both keep on getting to that same level, we just can't win. I can't beat Canada. And then you saw what Charlotte Grant said, she goes, yeah, I jumped on, I beat Nigeria, and all that sort of stuff, so hopefully we can beat them as well. Like, that's something that just feels so cool. And I think the little things of, like, saying, like, there was young boys there, and dads are bringing their kids to games and all that sort of thing, which, like, now maybe when you say it sounds like, well, yeah, like, obviously what else is going to happen, but there was a long time where it was just, unless you sort of played and you sort of knew the players, and why else would I go? And the little things of just calling it, like, my dad's sort of in that age bracket of, you know, you often hear a lot of, it doesn't matter, it's like whatever, but he doesn't call it the Women's World Cup, he calls it the World Cup. And I think just slight changes and slight sort of adaptations like that can just do so much more. And we saw with the Men's World Cup, like at Fed Square, all the scenes, and, you know, they did really well, and then stuff happened and it went back to rock bottom and almost made it worse. I think, like you said, continuing the momentum after this World Cup, I think the Matildas sort of progress and what they do is also very very important for how it grows. But just in general, we can see that if you do it right, people are there to go and watch it. You make it accessible. I mean, the seats, apparently we were sitting next to each other. But the seats we had weren't expensive.
No.
And I was 2 rows from the World Cup match, which was really cool. Speaking of the Matildas, they've obviously played the one game. At the time of filming this, we haven't played the Nigeria yet. We'll address the elephant in the room for now, Sam Kerr. I mean, obviously it's a big loss. You think she's going to come back and play? No one really knows the extent of her calf injury. I mean, we'll speak about someone might have given it away before, but no one really knows the extent of the calf injury. Can we get out of the group or even further into the tournament without a Sam Kerr?
Yeah, I think it's important to have, like, depth in the squad, and, like, we have a lot of players that play international football, and I think it's important. Like, obviously it's a massive loss. She's a great talent, scored heaps of goals for Chelsea and around the world, so it is a big loss, but I think it's time, for other players to shine and then hopefully give it a chance to come back and help the team.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think the first game kind of showed that. And I mean, Sam Kerr was on the bench cheering them on, but they still were able to get the result, and that really has put them in good stead now to get out of the group stage. So I think without her, maybe we'll be able to get out of the group stage, and then hopefully she'll be able to play. But yeah, I think we do have good depth, like I said. Like,
do you play her in the round of 16 if she doesn't play a group stage game, Paige? And people are going to sit there and go, well, yes, obviously. But you guys have been this sort of thing. If someone were to come and take your position when you've played in that striker role for the whole group stage,
I mean,
you've done your job, and then someone comes in. I know it's Sam Kerr, but I know me, I'd be going, unless I was playing terrible, then sure. Do what's best for the team.
A bit of that, and also, like, I think everyone respects that she's, like, one of the best in the world for a reason. So I don't think you could be angry if she came straight back in. Like, I would literally, like, let her walk back. But, it's a hard one. I don't really know what they'll do, but she will play her part. And I think even, like, all she needs is one opportunity to put it away, so she might not necessarily need to start. I think Caitlin Ford is just as good, and I think even though their partnership is deadly, she doesn't need much time to score a goal.
Yeah, love it. How far do you see the Matildas going? Other than winning it, how far do we see the Matildas going?
I hope, they get to put themselves against the best teams. Like, it'd be great to see them match up against Germany or Spain, England, and see how they go. So hopefully quarterfinals to semi-finals will be pretty cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just want to see them up against all those European teams that even a lot of the Matildas players are playing in European clubs, so it'll be interesting to see them play against their own teammates even, and just being up against the best. I mean, we're ranked so highly, so to be playing against the best, and that's what you want at a World Cup, so I'm just excited for those games.
100%.
I'd back them all the way, to be honest. Like, when it comes to finals games, it doesn't matter, like, where you are in the world or, like, how good you've been previously. It's one match, and I think something that no teams can match is our attitude and our never say die kind of mentality. So honestly, I think they can do it.
Definitely. Well, I mean, I can't wait to see their game here, especially. I mean, Melbourne's been stiffed over a little bit. We should have had more games. We should have had the bigger games, but I think that the Canada game will be unbelievable when it's over here. So that should be exciting. Is there someone that maybe you girls model your game around a little bit in that Matildas team? Or is it someone that you go, I don't know, maybe position-wise, you look at a Sam Kerr or Kellen Ford, or is there someone that sort of stands out when you watch them play, maybe watch them a little bit more than what you watch the others?
It's a tough one.
I'd actually probably say Gori. I don't know, lately,
I
probably
love
the
Gori.
last
Big fan.
like 6 months especially, like I've just, every time I watch the Matildas I'm looking at her and just like her work rate and how she just creates and is a playmaker, so I'd probably say her for me.
I'm a big fan of Gori.
Yeah, she's
Love
been
it.
killing it.
I think as a forward, probably like different movements and runs that Kerr makes or Ford or Mary Fowler, things like that. And hope to see maybe a bit more of Chids because I love the way she plays. You're always caught on her movement and technical skills.
Well, you're someone that played with Alex Chidiac.
Yeah.
I mean, how excited are you to see her maybe get some minutes in there? And I guess I think she's a real Melbourne favourite, especially at work. Like everyone just loves Chidiac, and she's coming to Storm anytime. Beautiful person, whatever, very nice, talks to everyone. How exciting is it to see someone like that you play with the club also now represent Matildas?
So exciting, honestly. I have watched her be my teammate throughout the A-League season. That she works so hard. So everything she has gotten, she's earned. And every game I'm praying that he puts her on the field because I think she's just incredible, and I think she can create things out of nothing, and I'd love to see her take the field.
Definitely. Well, I was surprised you didn't put her on in that friendly game, to be honest with you, especially in Melbourne. Because I think she would have got a very good reception as well.
Yeah, everyone loves
her
her
crowd.
for a reason.
Yeah.
She's just beautiful.
Definitely. Well, anything you guys want to touch on? It's been fantastic chat. Thank you very much again for joining me. But anything you want to touch on?
Go Tillies.
Go Tilly.
That's it.
Make sure to check out the guy. I'll leave all the description on the Instagram and all that sort of thing. Do all that business. Make sure to check him out. Next season too, Alana's got to kill her left foot. Paige has got to keep scoring goals without doing the 1-0 celebration. And I can easily see Sofia do a Sam Kerr backflip when she scores a goal.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to love, subscribe, do all that business. Stay tuned. We've got something very exciting coming out special, which you might see these girls' faces in more too. We've got the women's games coming up on Wednesday night, a futsal. You can live stream that. And the men's games are happening. We're doing stuff here and we're having fun. World Cup vlogs are also coming at you too, so make sure to like, subscribe to the business. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Sick.